Welcome to your daily tarot reading. I am Veronica. This is Veronica's Dreams Tarot. So let's get started here. I won't take too much of your time to get these cards shuffled and get into today's energy, what we need to know. Very important stuff, right? We got very important stuff going on. Okay. Just a reminder, please hit that thumbs up button. It does help a ton, helps us to connect. Also, appreciate the comments, and it also does help us to connect. And yes, it also does help my channel. But with the readings, there is a connection for sure with mostly the comments, to be honest. So let's see what we have going on. Current situation is the Hermit, present influence. The Page of Wands, what we don't see, is the Eight of Wands. There is a message with between that Page of Wands and Eight of Wands, unexpected. 10 of Wands. Ooh, look at all these wands. Challenge. 10 of Pentacles. Strength. 6 of Cups. And where does this all lead? 5 of Cups. Empress. 10 of Swords. Ooh, that was tough. Okay. Advice. Star. Lovers at the bottom of the deck, so this could definitely be about a partnership. This is going to be a little bit of a tough reading, I think, but it looks to me like this is up to you. Yeah, that Lovers is, I don't know if I showed you. Let's see what's going on. So we have the Hermit in the current situation, which I feel like is a lot about, you know, making a journey, but the Hermit does make that discovery. He does have that star in his lantern. That's what's lighting his way. You've got the star as your advice. So I do believe there is something to be said about reaching those ultimate dreams and destiny almost with the star. It feels very almost like this is all has a bigger meaning to it. It could, again, it could be about a partnership or a love ship, a relationship of any kind. The Page of Wands is in the present influence. I feel like this is more energy, not a message. The more I'm looking at the cards, is like you want to go all in with something, like really just go after it. When I say go all in, I mean just, you know, really, really go after something here. However, there is also a kind of like a energy that's kind of forcing you away from that as well, with the Eight of Wands and the 10 of Wands and the unexpected and what you don't see areas. So I do feel like that. Let's clarify. Tell me more about this Page of Wands, please. Tell me more about this Page of Wands. Yeah, Six of Swords, Star. You're ready. You're ready. That's the Page of Wands energy. That's what's influencing you. You're ready to move on. You're kind of done with where you're at. And that's what this search is about too. This energy is putting you into hermit mode. You're done. You want more. You feel like you feel like there's something more out there for you with the star, that you're not seeing everything that you're supposed to have in front of you. You definitely feel like there's something more, like and you know there's something more, and that's what you want, and that's where you're headed, and that's what's making this decision. Especially with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, when I just did that, that's definitely you in that energy of I have to trust myself that there is something more, and that's what leads you to be in this position right now, kind of on a search. You know, and it makes sense too at the end of the year when we do a lot of, you know, rethinking about where we're going, because it always feels like a good time in the new year to, you know, revisit what we're doing, how we're acting, behaviors, habits, all of those things. Tell me more about this Hermit. Yeah, Six of Wands, Four of Wands. You know there's something more out there for you, and that's exactly what you're searching for. You're searching to be noticed, And I don't think in a very I'm not saying that in a selfish way. It's very much, I want to be noticed, and it has to do probably with a relationship. So it's very important for you to be recognized. So if you're in a relationship where you're feeling you're not getting recognition, or you're not feeling like you're appreciated, that's what you're searching for. And if it's not relationship oriented, it's any life area really. And the lovers could be anybody else in your life. It could be a job, a boss, a company in general. You're not feeling like you're really seen for your value. And that star is, I know I can give more. I know I can get more. I know that it's it's not just selfish energy at all. The Eight of Wands is in your unseen. I feel like there is something happening that you're unaware of. Let's see if we can get more information on this. So with the Eight of Wands, that's an opportunity, you know. Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. There feels to me like there may be an offer coming in. That I think there might be someone. Let's do this, because I feel like the Eight of Wands is messages and offers and opportunities, but this is something that's happening that you're unaware of. There is somebody, the other person in this Two of Cups, that feels like you're really important, but sees your worth. So there is someone, and they may come through with an opportunity for you or a message for you. I would keep an eye out for that, because they see your worth. The Nine of Pentacles, they see this. That's what's happening in this unseen. Now, this does not get easier for a while, but this is happening where you don't see. So who knows? It's going to be hard to say how long that will take. The Ten of Wands is in your unexpected. This is harder than you expected. Basically, that's what the Ten of Wands is saying. This is definitely harder than you expected. Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. You're really trying to trust the process here with the Five of Pentacles. To me, this particular card and this deck reminds me of trust. When you're not feeling like 100%, will are you you have to he's to having to trust this guy to go get help. And to me, that's trust, and he's got to, because he can't move. Um, so there is that. And the Knight of Pentacles is, it's taking long. Things are happening, but it's taking long. And the Ten of Wands is you just being at the end of your rope with the patience and trusting. You really want to trust that things are going to work out, but you're really at the end of your rope with it, because it's taking a long time, or you feel like it's taking a long time, even though it might not be. The Ten of Pentacles is in your challenge. There's something here with this 10. So the 10 of Pentacles can be about home, it can be about money, career, but whatever it is, it's very important, and it's a stability energy, family, ancestral type family, like not just your immediate, but long time running. I feel like you this is like your goal, and you feel like you're not gonna. This challenge is, I want to be at this 10 of Pentacles, but the challenge is how to get there. And it's frustrating, again, because you've had to be patient, and you feel like it's taking so long. So this energy is kind of getting in your way a little bit. Is there anything else on this 10 of Pentacles that might help us here? Nine of Pentacles again, that's popping in again. And the Knight of Cups. Yeah, you're almost waiting for someone to give this to you instead of getting it yourself. The Knight of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles. You're waiting for an offer, and it's frustrating because it's taking forever. Now, this could be the challenge of, you have your home up for sale and you're waiting for an offer on your home. Absolutely, it could be. And it could be any kind of offer, like you're waiting for an offer for a promotion, you're waiting for an offer, for your offer to be accepted on a home, any of those kind of energies, but it's taking a long time. So whatever you're waiting for that really affects your stability is very frustrating, and that's your challenge, knowing that it's just taking a long time. The Six of Cups, however, is in your strength, which is saying, there is something coming in. I feel like with the Six of Cups, that's a gift, but also to remember that this is something you've been through similarly, very similar in the past. Some things are easier just to change the way you say them. And I think you like have to look at that. That's your strength, is saying, how did I deal with this before? What am I doing different now that I'm so frustrated? But you're still on that search, so you still feel like you have hope, especially with the star and the energy. But know that that energy, the Six of Cups, is things will work out. It just sometimes things take longer than other times. So Four of Pentacles and the star again. Yes. So you have what it takes. The Four of Pentacles in this deck specifically talks about the lessons you've learned, the tools you've learned how to make. Even though she's losing everything with that boat being on fire, she hasn't lost her knowledge of how to make the tools. She hasn't lost the lessons learned from her ancestors. So this is knowing that you have and that you've done it before from the past to reach that star, to reach where you feel like you belong. Ten of Swords, something's definitely closing out here for you though. So the Five of Cups is disappointment. Let's see what this disappointment is. I feel like, again, it's all wrapped around that it's taking a long time, but there's something a little more here that you might have to deal with. What is the Five of Cups? Page of Swords with the Lovers. Yeah, I mean, there may be a partner or something that disappoints you. You thought that you were more clear on something and you're not. With the Page of Swords, with the Lovers. Also, the Lovers is at the bottom of the deck, so this definitely, I feel like all of these things that you're working on through here, with the Hermit and the Ten of Wands being frustrating, I think this is kind of the climax of that you realize that you're not getting what you need. The Page of Swords is the epiphany of this, and you're disappointed because you were hoping that it would be more, and it's not. And you get disappointed. Then we have the Empress, which I do feel like is good because I feel like that allows you to take the time to kind of go in and understand, and have sympathy for yourself and to take care of yourself and to understand that's what you need to do. There's a feeling here too that someone may come in and kind of like, a friend, family member, just making you feel better about things, helping you along a little bit, giving you that pat on the back. Tell me more here. Knight of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. Kind of saying that your patience is going to pay off, that you will kind of grab a hold of that energy, and maybe someone reminds you of that. Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. That's both of these cards are about patience. The Knight of Pentacles moves slow. Seven of Pentacles is that garden, and I talk about it all the time. Things take a while to develop. You can plant seeds, but you're not going to get, the fruit or the vegetable or the flowers or whatever you're planting. You're not going to see the outcome of that for maybe months sometimes. And that's where you have to be patient. And I think that this is developing. You just don't see it yet because you have this energy. And I do feel like you're working through it though. You're realizing that it takes time, and that's part of what the Empress is too. And then you got the Ten of Swords. This is not an easy card either, shutting the door on something. And I pulled that third card, and I've been trying not to go 3 cards out, but I did. Ten of Swords, please. That could be what we needed to look at, but let's look at the Ten of Swords. Knight of Cups, the Hangman. Now, what you're doing is you're putting an end to trying to control things with that Hangman. I feel like with the Knight of Cups is there's some kind of energy that comes in and gifted to you, and it could be anything. It could be love, it could be just a friend, it could be just a realization. It could be job. Someone says something. Okay. I mean, like literally, and knocks and makes you think differently. But I feel like right now you're going, I got to get out of this stagnant mode. I've got to shut the door on this piece of me right now. Hermit's hard enough, taking that time out, and you're saying, done. I'm done. I've got to shut the door on trying to figure everything out, make things happen the way I want them to happen, just kind of let life happen. I feel like that's what the Ten of Swords is. It's not an ending as much as you shutting the door on a behavior that you feel like may be getting in your way. The star is in your advice, and I really truly believe that's don't let go of your dreams just because they're taking a little bit longer. Understand that sometimes actually letting go of that control, letting go of overthinking, letting go of just being in the what do I do stage, instead of let's just move forward with what I have in place, and move, with that Page of Wands energy here. Just move. You don't have to move fast, or Knight of Pentacles too, but moving forward really help you, because sometimes when we're stagnant and we're in hermit or even that hangman mode, we're not moving. And sometimes we can overthink and stay in those situations too long. I'm not going to do X until I find XYZ. I am not going to, like, I use myself a lot. Like, I am not going to go out and look for a relationship until I lose 20 pounds. Well, at some point you have to say, well, it's just got to be time. I have an excuse after excuse after excuse of not moving towards something. I have to wait until. Sometimes that's not the way to go. Don't wait. Your dreams are there. That's what this is saying. Don't wait. Climb that mountain. Understand that you will reach your dreams. And it's funny when you have that I'm not going to do this until this happens. When you start moving towards this, that other thing just kind of happens automatically. It goes with the flow. So there you have your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Have a beautiful day.